Good morning, children. A warm welcome to today's English session. How are you, children? I hope you are doing fine, staying at home, preparing your lessons, and spending the time in a useful way. Am I right, children? Right. And I'm extremely happy. I'm not joking or making some sarcastic remark. I'm really very happy to say that you people are very much interested in your studies, right? Everyone, see, week by week, that is compared to that last Saturday, this previous Saturday, the number of students who have come there to correct your notes, to submit the assignment is more than the previous week. So I'm really very happy that for your cooperation and your eagerness, curiosity towards your education. So keep it up in your schedule, follow the schedule, and try to attend the classes, both the YouTube class and Zoom class also. Okay, children. In the last class, we have completed that, almost came towards the end of our casuarina tree, and only the last paragraph is there. That I will finish it within 2 or 3 minutes, and we will proceed to the next lesson. Okay, children. Right. Take your textbook, page number 53. And one more thing I wanted to tell you, that is this coming Saturday's homework. I sent it in that group, the portion, that is first unit, first prose lesson, Two Gentlemen of Verona. That question answers from that book back, that questions, right? Two more questions are there and three more questions. Everything that you are very thorough with, I am very sure, yet revise it and try to write it without seeing the book. That is better, right? That will help you. So try to read it 1 or 2 times and submit the assignment. Write the question and write the answer in your notebook. Okay, children? Write the question and the answer. Even if you are writing in your English notebook, no problem. You need not keep another one assignment note. You can even use that English notebook for that purpose. So study it and after that write. Daily 2 questions, 3 questions. How much you could study it and write it. Okay, children? Now, the last paragraph. Therefore, I fain would consecrate a lay unto thy honor, tree, beloved of those who now in blessed sleep for aye repose, dearer than life to me. Alas, were they? Mayest thou be numbered when my days are done, with deathless trees, like those in Barrowdale, under whose awful branches lingered pale, fear trembling hope, and death the skeleton, and time the shadow, and though weak the verse, that would thy beauty fain, O fain rehearse, may love defend thee from oblivion's curse. The last line, may love defend thee from oblivion's curse. It's a famous line of Torudet, about which critics has written books after books, that Torudet has this in mind while she was writing this line and all these things, right? Therefore, therefore, so wherever I am, whether I am in France, Italy, or England, I could hear the murmuring sound of that casuarina tree. Therefore, I could see you as I am seeing you in my native village. Therefore, I fain, I have decided, I have made preparation, would consecrate a lay. I can officially make your name everlasting, permanent, through a lay, a song. So I have decided to write a poem on you. and to thy honor, to honor you. Tree, beloved of those who now in blessed sleep. So, tree, my dear Casuarina tree, you are beloved of those, you are loved very much by that people who are lying asleep forever, that who have gone forever, that who have passed away from us. Here, the Toru that refers to the brother and sister who have passed away from this world, right? Tree, beloved of those you are loved very much by the people who now in blessed sleep, who have passed away from this world, who have died for a repose. They are taking permanent rest. They are taking rest dearer than life to me. That people who are taking rest is dearer than my life. I love them more than my life. So, similarly, I love you also because whenever I hear your murmuring sound, when I was in France and Italy, I could reconcile, remember that childhood days and my brother and sister. Dearer than life to me. Alas, where are they? Where are they now? They are no more. They are no more in this world. Mayest thou be numbered when my days are done. Thou in olden English it means you. May you, may the casuarina tree be numbered, be remembered, counted when like numbered when my days are done. So you will be remembered even after my death also. My brother and sister are no more. When I could sit in when I was sitting when I'm sitting in France and Italy, I could hear your sound as if I'm hearing from my own native place. So I have decided to write a poem on you so that I could remember bring back my brother and sister also who are no more, who have passed away from this world. You will be remembered when my days are done, after my death also. So Toru that wanted to remember, wanted the whole world to remember her casuarina tree through this poem with the deathless tree. You will be remembered with the deathless trees of many of the writers, like those in Barrowdale. And she made a reference to that book, Barrowdale. Barrowdale, in the poem Daffodil by William Wordsworth, I told you once in the class that he was a nature poet and he has written so many poems and they are very famous poems. This Daffodil, I think you might have learned in your lower classes. So, just like that Barrowdale of William Wordsworth, this casuarina tree of Torudet will be remembered forever in this, as long as world exists. So, like those in Barrowdale, under whose awful branches lingered pale, fear trembling, fear hope, fear trembling hope, and death, the skeleton, and time, the shadow. And though weak the worse. So, fear, trembling, hope, and death. See, people used to say that during that at the last moment of a human life, during just before dying, they will be suffering like anything. That what we can say, fear of death will trouble us. See, this Toru that is of the opinion that if you do some righteous things, if you lead a life of what I can say, honesty, sincerity, if you show love towards your neighbors, if you live a life which is liked by your fellow beings, you will have no fear of death. So when the time comes for our, when we faces the last moment, we need not worry about death. So mostly we will mostly we will see that people suffering at the last moment. 4 or 5 years back, I saw a person suffering like anything. That cot, around the cot, that some rods are kept to protect that person falling from the cot. And yes, you are suffering like anything, struggling like anything. And fortunately or unfortunately, I too happened to see that sight. And after a long time, after a few days, after that, nearly 1 or 2 weeks, I could not come back from that uh, horrible sight. So, yes, she says, fear, trembling, hope, and death, the skeleton, and time the shadow, and though weak the was. So, time in this world is just like a shadow, it is passing away. We are living in a fearful, trembling hope of death. And my verse is also a weak one. It is not a good poem. That would be thy beauty fain. O fain rehearse, may love defend thee from oblivion's curse. So, though time passes, though people pass away from this world, though my poem is not that good, you will be remembered forever and ever by the people of this world as long as this world exists. May love defend thee from oblivion's curse. My love towards this tree will live eternally forever. It is a permanent token of the friendship, so it is loved one of Torudat. Hope you understand the point, right? Now we will come back to the. I told you in the Zoom class to fill up that paragraph which is given in page number 54, and a few of your students have completed that too when they come for the um, this correction. It's extremely, I told you, from the bottom of my heart, I feel very happy about your performance and cooperation, that you are listening to the classes and just attending it, right? Then explain with reference to the context is asked in that. And ERC, for ERC you must write these lines are taken from Our Casuarina Tree by Torudak, right? In page number 56, identify the figure of speech used in each of this there, like a huge python. It is an example of simile. No creeper climbs in whose embraces bound. A creeper climbs. Usually people will climb, but here the poet personifies that creeper. So it is an example of personification. A grey baboon sits like statue. Statue like. Example of simile. The water lily spring like snow and mast. Simile. What is that dirge like murmur that I hear? Like the sea breaking, like the sea breaking. It is an example of simile, right? Now, the next prose lesson, deleted portions, they will say after that, they will see that. But before that, if there is a common exam, I will just teach you, no problem. The next one is Unit 3, that Unit 2 has no prose. It is there, A Nice Cup of Tea by George Orwell. And it is, for the time being, I just leave it because it is a deleted portion. Now, In Celebration of Being Alive by Christian Barnard. In Celebration of Being Alive. I wanted to tell you something. See, we are living in this world. We are living in this world. Have you ever celebrated your life? Celebrating your life? We are blessed with a very wonderful climate in Kanyakumari district. very good water, purified water, we can say. Our parents sacrificing that whole life of theirs for your sake. Our relations, our friends, our neighbors, and all the things that God has bestowed upon us with beautiful eyes, nose, tongue, hands, legs to walk on, the parts of the body, a beautiful home to live in, beautiful vehicle to move from one place to another. All the blessings God has bestowed upon us. Have you ever celebrated your life? Have you ever? Each and every day, celebrate that day, right? It is a very good lesson for you to go up, proceed in your life with new hope and new energy and new enthusiasm, right? So this lesson is written by, in celebration of being alive, is written by Christian Barnard, right? Christian Barnard, and it is given in the textbook as Dr. Christian Barnard. He is a South African writer. Actually, he is what I can say. He's actually not a writer. By accident, he has become a writer. He's a doctor, and he belongs to a poor family of South Africa, and he pursued medicine. That is, he wanted to become a doctor, and he became a doctor. And he was a very brilliant student. He won very many scholarships, and he was specialized in cardiac surgery, heart surgeries, right? And but he has some difficulties in his life. So mostly, the people who are with him, that is, the people with whom he was living a life, is mostly patients, right? When you become sick, when you get a slight fever, how will be your reaction? With a dull face, no appetite to eat anything, so you'll be very sad. Very often you expect your parents to come and see whether you have fever. When they said, "Oh, my child has fever," oh, you feel very sad that you have some disease, right? So this cardiac surgeon, he is the first person to perform a heart-to-heart surgery, heart transplant surgery. That is, removing that heart from a particular person and placing another one heart, making it active. Heart transplant surgeon. He was the first person to perform it. Human heart transplant. See, he grew up in South Africa, and I told you he has four siblings, brothers. He has four brothers, and one of his brother, by name Abraham, he died at the age of 5. When he was 5, he passed. And when his brother died, he wanted to figure out the problem and try to find a solution for it. He completed his master degree in medicine in the year 1953, and the same year he obtained the doctorate degree also for his dissertation. So, PhD in medicine. As I told you, he was the first person to perform the heart transplant surgery, and that he was assisted by his brother, other brothers. One of his other brother also is a doctor. Other brothers, and the operation, the surgery lasted for 9 hours, supported by nearly 30 people, right? That heart plant transplant surgery lasted for 9 hours, supported by nearly 30 people. And that patient survived after the surgery for 18 days. That is 2 weeks and 4 days. Only a short span of time. But it is a milestone in Dr. Bernard's life. He has made a person to live for 18 days at least. And though the first patient survived only for a few days, he passed a milestone in the new field of life extending surgery. Life extending surgery. He has achieved something, right? He was celebrated around the world by all the people that he has done a great achievement for his accomplishment. Now, what is given in this lesson is, see, even though Dr. Bernard is a great person who has done great, who has sacrificed, who has contributed something to our society, the world at large, he has no peace of mind in his life. See, very often we used to ask questions like this to ourselves. I don't know whether you are asking or not. I used to ask questions like this to myself. But so far I couldn't get an answer for it. See, at 2 o'clock, very happily I had my lunch and sitting with my family people. At 4:30, there is some problem, some heart problem, or some problem in my leg, and I could not move from my place. My family member, one of my family member, could not move from my place. Why this has happened? What is the reason behind it? Yesterday we were living a very happy life. All of a sudden today, one of my family member passed away. What is the reason for it? Have you ever asked a question like this and found out an answer for it? So this burnout also has this why people suffer. So mostly I told you he deals with these patients who are always very sad, and financially also they will be suffering when they come to the hospitals. And because that nowadays the hospital expenditure is very great hike, right, in that expenses of the hospital. If you go for a fever, the scan, urine test, blood test, all this test, MRI, all these things finishes, and the bill goes around 5,000, and finally the doctor says, oh, you have no problem. You are very well happy, very well satisfied with that word. You are okay. You are quite normal. You have no problem. But 5,000 rupees has gone for no reason. Am I right, children? Yes. So, since he is dealing with this people, he might have faced people who faces death all on a sudden, maybe. So, always he has a worry in his, question in his mind. Why people suffer. See, pleasure and pain are part of human life. I told you in one of the previous classes also. See, you should not pray to God to make you happy all the time, to give you all that you need, what you are asking for. But pray that you must get courage, you must get grace, you must get help to overcome the difficulties and go ahead in a proper way in our journey of life. Right, children? So, And pleasure and suffering, happiness and pain are part of life. What we have to do is, you must forget the suffering. You should not sit and brood over the thing, or brood over the suffering. Provided you have to go ahead with the good things that you have got in your life. Okay? The good things that you have got in your life. Right, children? Right. Now, it is getting, time is almost getting over. We will see the remaining in the next class. Okay, children? Okay. Bye. Thank you for listening the video. Thank you, sir.